Hi everyone, I'm David Johnson. I am the CEO of Delivering Asia. And we're a PR and marketing firm. We're a global PR and marketing firm. And I just wanted to start, just before my interview, with just a couple of quick insights. Those insights are based on some research that we did. So we did some research into the 21 markets in which we operate, in which we have teams. And we asked one simple question: what is the new luxury? And the answers were pretty amazing. One thing that I really wanted to say was what it is not. And what it is not is FOMO, fear of missing out. The fear of missing out was during the COVID era, when everyone had their bucket lists, the peer-driven bucket list travel scenario, the revenge travel, when they just wanted to tick boxes and go to these amazing places. However, what I would like to just say is that there's been a huge shift in terms of consumer values for luxury travelers. And I would like to introduce the concept of JOMO. We've moved from FOMO to JOMO, the joy of missing out. It's good to miss out. It's good to be different. The joy of missing out disconnects. It's kind of a form of self-care, if you like. It's about wellness. It's about well-being. It goes beyond the spa. So it just goes deeper. So this is really just what I wanted to kind of seed in your thinking before I introduce my guest today. And my guest is Khun Champ. Khun Champ, please, welcome. Khun Champ is the... There we are. Thank you. Khun Champ is the VP of Development, right?
That's right. Yep.
Dusit Hotels and Resorts.
Yep.
God, Khun Champ, welcome. First, has everyone been to the new Dusitani in Bangkok?
Anybody?
Okay, a few.
Close.
A few more invitations need to be made. But so we just talked about the new luxury. What I would like to just say then, Khun Champ, is in terms of the new luxury, how does that translate into what you've brought to the market with the Dusitani?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we closed down the whole hotel. We had to tore it down about 5 years ago. So this hotel was actually very much 5 years in the making. And actually, the design stage was actually 2 years before that. So we took 2 full years to really design it as part of the Dusit Central Park complex. And obviously, you people know Dusit, as a more Thai, traditional Thai hotels, and obviously we have been around for the longest time, right? For over 75 years, our company is founded. What is really important for us is because this is the new flagship, so we have to think about how do we, what is our mark in the industry? We want to still be that Thai hotels, but we want to move away also from that whole traditional kind of brand that people used to know Dusit by. So we actually took, 2 years to basically redo all of our brand architecture. We basically took 2 years, as I mentioned, to basically design this hotel. And we want to design it with these Thai elements, but we want to do it with the vision of the future. So we actually work together with architectural firms, with our interior studios to see how we can basically bring back this Thai hotel, but to be the one for the future. And a lot of it is really much about the whole thinking behind it. People, when they think of Thailand and Thai tourism, before in the past, they think about, all the, the pad Thai, the green curry, the Thai kickboxings, and, it's all been done quite well, but I think for us, we need to progress it a little bit more. Before we used to promote, the sun, the sea, and the sand, and it's like the 3 S's, but now we need to look about, the serenity, the spirituality, and the sustainability. And all these things we want to really bring back into the new hotel, this whole experience. So our wellness is not just about having the spa and the massages there anymore. We have quite a big wellness components. We have this dome, even though it's a city hotel, we have this beautiful dome where we do a lot of sound healings because, the kind of like the sound vibration reflects off from the wall. We do a lot of, and we do a lot of collaborations, with, let's say like, the other month we had a Japanese tea ceremonial master who comes in. So all of these kind of like a wellness, element is really, really important to us. And we want to dig into it a bit deeper than just, kind of like washing it. Yeah.
Excellent. That sounds absolutely perfect. But in terms of wellness, I mean, and taking wellness deeper, you talked about Japanese. You talked about spirituality. Yeah. I mean, you're just by Lumpini Park, the green lung of Bangkok. I mean, so how do you integrate that into your wellness programs in terms of your destination?
Yeah, I mean, like, like for us, like, one of the things in which, we've read about to say that, what makes life more meaningful, and obviously one of which is to be closer to nature. Obviously, being in Bangkok, you're about as far away from nature as you can possibly be. But for us, that's why, like the whole park thing is really, really important. And, we designed this hotel to be a single loaded corridor. So all 100% of the rooms will be park facing. So when you get up in the morning, you can see basically all the tree lines and the park. Our swimming pool is very, very much looking out into the park. And
it's like this green horizon, right? When you're looking.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Exactly. And for us, it was really, really important. We have this massive podium where, obviously, it will be the retail component that will be underneath it, but we want to bring in the whole park elements, back into the project. We actually, collaborate with the University of Agriculture, Mahavidyalaya Ksatศาสตร์, to basically bring in all these plant specialists to basically see how each of the plant can coexist together in a more symbiosis way, without using too much of a water, for example, because that is also draining a lot of the resources. So we basically put in a lot of these kind of thinking behind it because we really truly believe that the true meaning of luxury should be regenerative.
Regenerative wellness, regenerative luxury. That sounds good. And are we going to see that throughout your other hotels in the future too?
Yeah, exactly. So the newer version of the Dusit hotels, the new generations, we are basically integrating all of this in. We just launched our sustainability program called the Tree of Life program, in which all of our GM's KPI is very, very much attached to that. Another quite I think an important thing is that like we want to be not just showcasing the Dusit brand, but we want to be showcasing the neighborhood. Like this fabric of the locality of each of our hotels is situated in. So each of our hotels now, we have community managers that basically brings a lot of content and context into the hotel, but also, we are able to support our communities in the same way as well.
God, sounds fantastic. How about, obviously, so you opened at a pretty tricky time, didn't you? You came through COVID. I mean, there was all of that. How about, we talked a little bit before about diversifying the business. Yep. So, how have you worked with that? What have you brought in? Any new products, any new services, any new innovations?
Well, people know us as a hotel developers and hotel operator, but besides that, we also have other verticals of the businesses. So we have our Dusit Hospitality Education. So we have about 6,000 students that's studying with us, from bachelor degree to master degree to vocational, and we're also pushing out on the education, in a very, very big way because obviously, as Bill rightly mentioned, people matters and that matter the most. So we really want to basically, give back to the society. But also, we just actually came up with a new vertical of the business called Dusit Estates. So also just mentioned just now, branded residence becomes such an important thing, an important component. So, at the Dusit Central Park, we also have Dusit Residences, as well. And it's about merging, hospitality with the whole kind of like a brick and mortar business, right? And this is why, for a hospitality company like us, some of these things is really, really important. We are, we're actually moving on to invest in a senior living concept, but why we actually call it generational living, because even the seniors, they don't want to be known as like seniors, right? So we want to call it like generational living. So we're basically coming up with these new types of, of real estate play that we can basically fit in, our own hospitality into it.
So will there be branded residence components
exactly.
in your new developments going forward?
Exactly, yes. So we are basically looking to do the one in Bangkok now. We're looking to also do in Pattaya. We're also looking to do in Phuket. I mean, Phuket is full of branded residences as well. But it is a really, really big market here in Thailand.
You've got to sort of reinvent the brand perception first before you do that, because you're selling a different lifestyle, really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's a real estate play. So within Dusit Estates, we obviously bring in, not the people from the hospitality industry, but we really bring in, real estate developers. But also, it is important that, because we see ourselves as a hospitality company through and through, no matter whether we're in hotels or education or food. Food is another business that we are really, really going into, in quite a big way as well. But essentially we see ourselves as a hospitality company, and then that's something that is really within our core.
Yeah, sounds great. We can't really have a conversation about lifestyle without talking about food. How are you reinventing your culinary business? Are you diversifying? What are you bringing in?
Yeah, I mean, like food is something that's completely different, right? It's such a left field thing. And I mean, if you look at a lot of our peers, you know, I mean, whether you're talking about, you know, Centara or Minor, you know, I mean, they all have their own food division. We obviously operate it in a different ways. I mean, we don't really have quick service restaurants like others would have, you know, but what we have is, you know, we have food production. So we actually do, you know, I mean, we produced food recently to Thai Airways. So we provide about 200,000 meals per them, you know, per month, you know, for the outbound flight, for example. You know, we have a catering company that basically provide, you know, B2B to all the international schools or majority of the international schools. You know, we have our own kind of like a bakery, kind of like a, you know, back kitchen, you know, a cloud kitchen that provides to over, you know, 100 of our stores countrywide. So, but food is something that, you know, we want to do more on the mass, you know, rather on the luxury, because we've been in luxury for so long, right? And then, so we're just thinking like, you know what, maybe we should get into the mass game, because that's a different ball game. Yeah.
I've got to ask you a final question. You're third generation, right? You're third generation. And so Dusit Hotels, 50 years old, 1969, 1970?
Yes.
It's 50
yes.
plus years. Yep. So where are you going to be in 50 years' time?
That's a really trick question. That's not in the script. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, you know, for us, what is really important is always the quality, right? I mean, our company has been around for 75 years, and, you know, and obviously there's a lot of companies that basically, you know, kind of like grew even, you know, like kind of start establishing themselves much long after us, but they've gone much more further. But for us, I think even as a family, as a company, we always see ourselves, you know, as representing Thailand, you know, and doing it in a very, you know, like in a very meaningful, you know, way. And then so for us, growth is important, but for us, quality is even more important, because we know what we really stand for, and we really want to execute it to the best of our ability.
Brilliant. Khun Cham, please join me and give the gentleman a big round of applause.